Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw, and I'm here today with Kerry Wallace, who's the CEO of FamGuru. Some of you may know what FamGuru is. It's been out for a few months now. It actually made its
hmm
debut at the Virtuoso conference way back in August. And I'll admit, I had interviewed Kerry there, and unfortunately, technical glitches, and it didn't get done and didn't get produced. So here we are again, and actually, she has
hmm
more news because a lot has happened since that time.
Sure.
But we're going to talk to Carrie now about FamGuru and what it does and what it can do for you as travel advisors in this segment. And this is Insider Travel Report. Now, Carrie, first of all, just briefly explain what FamGuru is, what it's all about, how it organizes, and that's the idea. It organizes, improves the process of what you call the modern familiar
Right.
vacation trip, right?
Right. Well, first of all, James, thank you so much for having me back. It's great to see you again, and it's great to talk to all the advisors out there because FamGuru is definitely all about the advisor. I am personally an advisor myself. I've been an advisor for more than 20 years and a boutique agency owner. So this speaks to me personally. And so what is it to start? It's software. Okay. Software for who? Software for both our travel supplier partners via a website and software for travel advisors like you and me via an app that helps us all become more organized and more able to record what we see when we're traveling. So we're able to sell more travel, which is what we all want. So, in essence, what we're doing is helping the travel industry and the advisor community better acquire, organize, share, and profit from the travel knowledge that we acquire during our personal travels, whether that's a hosted fam trip or a self-directed fam trip or any other time we're out on the road, because it's so much information to absorb at one time, and we want to be able to organize that effectively. But also, once we do, it allows us to better market and sell what we see, which is what we all want. This is an amazing industry, an amazing lifestyle, but we need to be able to share that with our clients, and our hosts want us to share that with our
Well, that's
clients.
the whole point. Otherwise, you don't get invited. I mean,
Exactly. No, it's
and I
you're
and
the
I have been on plenty of travel advisor FAMs over the years. Joining travel advisors, and some are good recorders of information. They obviously do a lot of Instagram. They do movies, and they share in those venues. I mean, generally, in our statistics show that Facebook, Instagram really are the top things. X a little less so these days. And then of course we have TikTok where people are using that
right.
to actually organize it and do it in a proper system. I don't think there's anything out there.
Right. And I mean, I think the overall problem I first noticed was because I'm an advisor and I have had the good fortune to have traveled to over 80 countries in my career on fam trips on 5 different continents. And as I was going along, I just noticed so many difficulties and so many problems that we have, James. And it's, you're seeing and staying in 6 hotels. You know this better than anyone because you're on the road 200 nights plus per year, staying in all these hotels, eating at 13 Michelin stars, doing 6 activities, and yet we have to remember all of that, bring that back, organize it, and sell it to our clients. Oh my gosh. And you get back and there's 600 emails in your inbox and your clients need your help. And
Well,
suddenly
I'll,
that,
I'll do I'll do one better
sorry.
than that. Try doing 3 wineries in a day in New Zealand. Then you really don't remember them.
See, so this could work for you too. But as an advisor, that was a problem for me. How do I absorb, organize, and actually remember all of that information? And it got me into trouble a couple of times. I made some recommendations that were not good to my clients, and you lose a client when that happens, and you say, "Wow, there has to be a better way. Why isn't there an app for this? Oh my gosh." Why wasn't there an app for this? But that was sort of the original problem that I ran into. And so I started creating the app. But then I realized it's not just us as the advisors who are struggling. It's our hosts, it's
Okay.
our travel supplier partners, because they spend hundreds of hours putting together a good trip for us, spend thousands of dollars putting together this experience. They need us to sell what we see. And if we're not organized, then they're not able to fulfill what they need to do. They do not get a return on their investment. And let's face it, advisors are investing time and money too. We don't get a return on investment if we come back and don't do anything with that information. And so we said there needs to be a system, a platform for both suppliers and advisors to collaborate before, during, and after a fam trip so that we can become more organized. So but I think it's so interesting too, because we oftentimes just think of a fam as those 5 days we spend together as a group. Well, if we translate that back to what we do with our clients, there's a before the trip, a during the trip, and after the trip. It's the same with a fam, right? Before the fam, that's when we have our hosts getting organized, putting together the itinerary, sending out the invitations, chasing all the best cats down for our dietaries and all of our passport information.
The new favorite question: what are your dietary restrictions? Yes.
Oh my gosh. And that's exactly what we've done in FamGuru, is to say, how do we use technology to automate that process so we don't have these crazy email chains going back and forth with advisors and suppliers to chase all that information down? What if you had a profile in you had a FamGuru profile, and every time you're on a fam trip, it just gets pulled in by the supplier, and you don't have to fill out that silly little form every single time.
I know, that would be great. I just actually filled one of those out just this morning on it for a trip, and of course, my response whenever I get asked that in a restaurant is, I know I don't have any dietary restrictions, but I'm seeking some.
Let's keep trying.
Let's keep trying. Or allergies. That's the one. What food allergies do you have? Well, I don't have any allergies, but let's find one.
You're obviously very adventurous in that way. But anyway, the idea is before the trip, how do we get everyone organized, including the supplier? And so the supplier can then invite the advisor into the trip. They can automatically pull in the dietary restrictions and to be able to share that with their hotels on the trip. We can get all those required documents, those waiver forms, whatever they are, without having to email back and forth 10 times. And then also put together all of the hotel or the destination collateral in one place beforehand, so you don't have 5 emails in your inbox before or after the trip with 15 PDFs that you're supposed to somehow keep track of. It's all in FamGuru. So that's the before. That's how we're doing it there. The during is also great. Now we're together on those 5 days. But what happens is the supplier is now able to push the itinerary over to the advisor app. So we have the structure right there. We can take our notes, upload our photos, and share them to social. We can
all within the app, right?
All within the app, yeah. Right. And then we have a place to do reviews and to record our insights as we're going along, so that we don't have to organize it all when we get back, because that can take 8 to 10 hours, and who has that when you have a full inbox? And so it's meant to be everything all in one place, being accumulated during the actual travel. And so that is the cool part during. But then the fun part after is you have all of your insights and photos in one place. You have all of the information that the host has already provided to you. So you have this incredible archive that you can refer to today, 6 months from now, or 2 years, so you don't have to scroll down in your camera roll 25,000 photos. And so you have this.
I can relate to that. I have my phone right here, and I have to, remember that trip way back when in about, wait a minute, that wasn't 2023, that was 22.
Exactly. Your client says, hey, have you seen the junior suite? And you say, I know, I have a photo of it. In FamGuru, you know which hotel it is. It's in the junior suite category, and you can share that with your client whenever they ask about it when you get back.
Can you also use that once you have that information? You can share it through your social media channels, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You have the ability for any photo in there to be able to go right to your social channel. And, whether it's the photos that your host has given you before to sort of warm up your social media audience, or the ones that you see during the trip, post it in real time, or post it on a throwback Travel Tuesday or a throwback Thursday. Sure. Does anyone do those anymore? But
I see a few of them, but no, you're right.
Yeah. So that you have use of that information, and it's almost like you look at your FamGuru archive and you don't forget anything. It's all right there. And so it's a powerful tool to get us organized and take the pain out of that organizational process. But not only that, it allows us to do things to share more efficiently, to be better with our marketing and sales, and to go out there after we've seen these experiences and to sell them like we never have before, and to have the capability to do that without concern, without difficulty.
Well, let's just make clear too. You're not distributing FAMs. This
right.
is organized FAMs. Like a FamGuru. Oh, I'm going to go there and get me a FAM trip.
Actually, that is a good. We did get that question from time to time, and and it was not originally conceived to be a place where people are posting and accepting FAMs. It's more about What do you, how do you collect that information so you can make your fam trip more useful? Although I am very excited because later this year, one of the things that we'll be doing is we'll be allowing our travel suppliers, our hosts, to go in and search for travel advisors who they might like to have on their fam trip. Because let's face it, if you're a supplier, you know who you know. But what if there's that one Italy specialist in a corner of the
Right.
country that you just haven't heard of before, but they're in our database and they've filled out a good profile and their name pops up when you do a search? You might say, oh, let me invite Susie because look at her background and I didn't even know her. And so we're aiming to be able to, if the supplier is looking for new, fresh people to bring to their destination, to be able to use our advisors' profiles, dossiers, to make that connection, because so much of a good fam trip is about having the right people on the right trip.
Well, and that's always a problem. I mean, sometimes I will admit there are some trips I've been on with some advisors. I'm like, how are you on this trip? The
Right.
sensible reason is it's a top seller or someone who is on there, or someone who has expressed, has certainly had success in selling a particular product or destination. But I don't think it really works. I don't know about their list, but because
Right, not
it
always.
doesn't always seem to work that way. So now I guess one of the big, what is it? Does it cost anything for travel advisors, for suppliers, for destinations to use FamGuru?
Let me give you a bit of background on that. So for travel advisors, completely free.
Okay.
Why is that? Well, we want advisors are sort of the engine of all of this, right? The advisors have to get out there, see the destination and sell. So we want it to be used as widely as possible. Also, that information is really valuable to you, but also to your agencies, for example. So there will be a point where we're putting together a supplier dashboard where we'll be able to aggregate all of their advisor input into one place, like the Travel Professionals Trip Advisor, to be able to use that information. So we wanted people to use it widely, often, and no barriers to feeling like you can use it. And so that's the philosophy behind having a free version, and we'll always have a free version for advisors. In the future, there may be a premium version for people who want certain bells and whistles and find that valuable.
Mhm.
The main way we generate revenue right now is through supplier subscriptions. And so why is that? Well, for suppliers, they have the most to gain and the most to lose. The money that they're investing in this particular trip can be between, it could be $3,000 a person, it can be 200,000 for a 5-day weekend.
Right.
And so this is real money. They do have but what we can do is we can accelerate those sales. We can make those sales come more easily for them and get a better return on their investment. And so we have a subscription model whereby if you want to subscribe to FamGuru, then you have it all year long. And currently we're in sort of we're learning more about the different packages we might create. But so we have one package, if you will, right now. It's $99 a month, and you can consider it more introductory pricing. And the idea is that right now we have no limitations on them. It's as many advisors as you want, as many fam trips as you want, as many admins, colleagues of yours to join the software to be part of that trip. And as we gain more experience and more feedback about what's valuable to people, we'll eventually go to a tiered pricing model like you see with so many softwares. But right now, we want people to try it. We want people to experience all of the different aspects of the software. And we think that'll be the best way to roll it out and to have as many people as possible using it.
And so the advantage to a supplier is that almost like for a travel advisor who's getting their fam trips organized, the same for the supplier. They are organized, can work to organize their fams through FamGuru and also have access to a lot more travel advisors, potentially that specialists that they didn't know about. Right?
When I think the other thing too, the important part about FamGuru, also thinking of after the trip, is you can come back and create that report. We have the ability to auto-generate a report from all that information you've put into the app, and doing so at the touch of a button. And what that does for the advisors, it allows them to share with their entire agency or to share with whatever customers they want. And what does that do for the supplier? That 10x's, that 100x's their exposure from that one advisor being on that one trip. So we're getting the word out, we're getting the real information out to a much wider audience, and therefore the potential for sales is that much greater.
That's great. Now, when we met last August at the Virtuoso Week, you were really just rolling it out, and I believe Virtuoso was one of the first groups that was testing it out. How did that go, and how has it gone ever since? Or have you rolled it out to any other groups?
So we were thrilled and so grateful for Virtuoso's support and interest from the start. We had the opportunity to collaborate with them on some of their study tours in multiple destinations around the world with some top Virtuoso advisors using it. And the result of that was fantastic. And let me explain what I mean. We're a new company. We have a new product. We had unbelievable feedback. And what I mean by that is the good and the bad. We needed to be told, okay, we love this aspect of it, do more of that, or this is really not working for me. This is
Right.
what you guys need to work on. And as a result of that, and as a result of other companies that we've been working with as well, we've had this period since our launch of incredible amounts of feedback and insight and suggestions, which is completely informing how we're approaching 2024.
Mhm.
And so I'm absolutely grateful for that opportunity. But in parallel, we have been working to do trials and with companies such as Four Seasons Hawaii. They've become a customer. Some of the representation companies, Cartagena and Associates, Bennett Mercado, for example, working with hotel groups. We've done trials with Jumeirah. We have the new hotel, the Global Ambassador in Scottsdale, as a new customer. And so along the way, we're again getting this great experience, getting their input, bringing in some of those early adopters who are excited about the technology, see where it's going, want to be part of, and help us shape where it goes from here. And we're incredibly grateful for that opportunity. And we have some new advisor groups that we're working on. I hope to have an announcement about that soon. I can't quite
Right.
tell you today, but you'll be the first to know, James, I promise.
Thank you. Yeah, just between us. No. So you are going to go beyond Virtuoso and other groups. So
Oh, for sure, for sure. I mean, if you think about it, our industry has so many different constituents that can benefit from being more organized and having the advisors that they're traveling with be more organized. So we'll be touching practically every corner of the industry.
now, what's your goal? You mentioned this year. What's your goal for 2024, and where do you want to see the company by the end of the year?
So look, the feedback that we've received so far, like I said, it's really informing how we're looking at the year ahead. So first quarter for FamGuru is all about making what we have already completely great.
Mhm.
So we have early adopters, there may be 5 to 10% of the people out there. And so they've come and given us this information and these details and said, we'd like to see this. So we are focusing on making all the changes, all the improvements in the user experience so that our early adopters become our raving fans. So
Mhm.
making that user experience outstanding with their help. And once we do that, that's going to allow us to be more appealing to the rest of the travel advisor community who is maybe not as technology forward, if you will. But that will elevate our product experience. It'll elevate the value that we're providing to our users. And once we're able to get those things up to speed and get all of our help functions in place as we should, then we'll be able to focus on some of the new functionality, which I'm really excited, going quarter two and beyond. So what we're hoping to do is to be able to have a full WhatsApp functionality within
Oh,
FamGuru. So you know how everyone always does a WhatsApp group,
sure.
and then sometimes people leave the group, and maybe you have that group later or you don't. But the messaging capability, the photo sharing capability, actually we have photo sharing now, the photo sharing capability, the ability for your host to say, come, lunch is now at 1:30 instead of 1, see you in the lobby, and to be able to have those chats as you're going along. And because we don't really want two platforms on one trip, so that's coming into FamGuru soon. We'll have cruises and flights. I know we've talked to you about that before. We decided to put those on hold in favor of getting everything that we have to be that much better. The ability to search for an advisor, to see who you might like to invite to your trip, like we talked about before. The agency dashboard, to be able to aggregate that information so it's useful to your agency. You can see what your colleagues are doing. And then focusing more on the after part of the trip. So if you're a host, being able to say, okay, well, here's the post-trip survey through FamGuru, or
Sure.
here is hey, it's our 6-month Famiversary. Hey, good to, this is what's new at the property. I just want to update you, and to use FamGuru to touch that group and to remind them of those great feelings and that amazing learning that they had while they were on property. Because as you know, we're oftentimes just on to the next thing, and it's sometimes nice to go back and revisit everything that we learned. Ultimately, I'd love to see us get to 15 to 20,000 users next year.
Mhm.
And if we can do that, we'll be out of the early adopter phase and more into that bell curve of the rest of the industry. So that's what we're striving for, to have a product and to go into the marketplace and bring this to as many folks as we can going through 2024.
Well, good luck. It sounds like you're on your way to doing that. You're talking about WhatsApp groups. I'm still on about 4 WhatsApp groups for FAMs that I've been on, and I totally, oh yeah, that was the FAM we did back then. And all of a sudden, there's an eruption of discussion on
It
the
just pops
WhatsApp
up
group.
again, right?
And somebody like, oh, we were traveling in Czech Republic, or something like that, and it was a good, it was dar the best FAM trips generate the most community among advisors, of course, and you can continue to stay in contact with these wonderful travel advisors. Now, well, where is there anything else you want to tell our 126,000 travel advisors about FamGuru, and also where can they, I assume they can go up to their app store and just download FamGuru, right?
Sure, sure. Actually, there are a couple of things I would like to share just to close
Sure.
things out here. A FAM is not just 5-day group trip, right? A FAM is any opportunity when we're on location to learn something. And so FamGuru is not just about being invited by a host. It's for your own self-directed trips as well. And
Mhm.
it's for your own, a FAM trip can be a lunch and a site inspection at a hotel in your home city. And so we're encouraging people to think about how to use FamGuru in all of those situations. It's not just about the one, the 3 or 4 or 5 big trips you might, or the 15 you might take, James, but all those little opportunities to record that knowledge and not lose it, and to have it there for yourself in the future. So thinking broadly about what is a FAM and how can we use this product
Mhm.
multiple times per year and refer back to it all of the time. And then the second point is that, while we may use, I'll bring up this whole topic of AI, right?
Mhm.
Well, we'll be using AI as part of our platform to facilitate what we're doing. FamGuru is not about AI. FamGuru is about what I call RI, real intelligence. And
Mhm.
that's why we as advisors are going out to all of these destinations. That's why our hosts are inviting us to all of these destinations, because that real intelligence, I don't care if you're Chat GPT, that doesn't exist on the internet, but that's what our clients value. And so we're helping people capture that real intelligence, bring it to their clients. Their clients can have the most amazing experiences with us, the most amazing trips, and that we're really looking at ensuring the future of the travel advisor and the travel industry altogether. So I like the idea of RI, even though AI will be around forever. But
Well, that's true. Well, we're all trying to figure out what we can use AI for, and sounds like you're going in a little different direction of the real intelligence, which really is the value add of travel advisors, is the real
yeah,
intelligence
let's use
they have.
AI to support RI, right? I,
Absolutely.
and then in terms of how to find out more about FamGuru, we have our homepage, which is famguru.app. And on that page, you can learn more about the advisor version, you can learn more about the supplier version, and we have a number of support materials there as well. So if you're getting started with FamGuru and need some tutorials, have some FAQs, want to see some documents about how to help, we have that there. And then advisors, go to your app store, search for FamGuru, download for free, get set up. And for suppliers, if you want to give it a try, we have a 30-day free trial before a package needs to be selected. So go onto our homepage. There's a log-on button. Just if you click there, it'll take you to a screen to be able to sign up as well. So very easy.
Well, Carrie, it's great to see you again. Congratulations as FamGuru continues to roll out here. I know when we've written about it in the past, there's been tremendous interest for our readers who are very eager to have something to help them organize these things. And you've just suggested to me maybe I need this as well. So I think I may give it a shot there, because I am tired of scrolling back through my Instagram to find out that photo that I took, and where is it? Because I do need it, because you need photos and I don't really have access to them, so I could see use for it there. Anyway, congratulations on FamGuru, and let's look for even bigger and better things in the year ahead, and hope to see you at one of the agency conferences very soon.
Okay, thanks, James. We'll totally keep you posted.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.